every time I start I have to change it to people on blogs or something, and so I am, what's the word, disillusioned at the moment, because I think I told you a few weeks ago, or was it months ago, or I forget now, about my experience in 1985. Let me get mine. Let's change camera angles. Oh, I hit it twice. So, well, actually, 1984. I'm going to go over this again anyway. I actually witnessed some UFOs flying over Scarborough, North Yorkshire, and I was laid in my bed. It was about, well, I wrote it all down on this piece of paper. It happened at 3:18 a.m. The reason I'm talking about this is because the truth is finally starting to come out. It's been admitted now by the military in America, and it's starting to be revealed in the mainstream media now that aliens, or I should say extraterrestrials, exist. And by the way, they don't like being called aliens because they're actually our cousins. A lot of them, most of them are humanoids actually, just like we are. There's over 57 different species. Over 57 different species. There's a lot more than we can imagine, but they're not all good. They're not all good. There's some bad guys, just like with humans. And we get bad humans as well. So you can't expect everything to be hunky-dory and perfect because in space, because there's always competition. There's always some guy wanting, or some being wanting some other being's property or technology or whatever. So I'm talking about this because obviously it's been admitted in the main military. If you go and search it, if you haven't heard about it, just go and look up them. United States military admits that extraterrestrials are real. That's number one. And so why am I talking about this? Well, I had this experience in 1984. I actually drew this in 1984, this piece of paper. I actually drew this, so it's not something I've done from memory. This is the original piece of paper that I drew to show that I saw objects and they actually went behind a cloud. So there was back in 1984 we didn't really have lasers as such back then. It wasn't, technology wasn't advanced enough. Well, we did have lasers, but we didn't have lasers that you could point up and own yourself and point up at the sky because the technology wasn't ready. Nowadays we have lasers all the time at fairgrounds and things like that that draw things in the sky and things like that, but we didn't have that back then. And anyway, you wouldn't be having any event anyway at 3:18 in the morning. So I wanted to cover this again because what happened was, I'm just summarising because I've talked about this before. What happened was I was listening to my Walkman, and I've still got it. I have still got my Walkman. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. A lot of kids today will say, what the hell's a Walkman? They'll say, what's a Walkman? This is a Walkman. It's a bit dusty. It plays cassette tapes. I don't know, I wonder if it still works actually. I hope I didn't leave batteries in it. Nope, I didn't leave batteries in it. This is the Walkman I was using in 1985. battery cover back on. I actually might put some batteries in it. It was let's just see. So for kids that don't know, let me put some light on because it's sunny outside, but I think it's got a radio in it as well. So I was listening to this, playing music. Where's the eject button? It's probably stuck because there we go. So you put your cassette tape in it, and wonder what, I'm not sure if it's how clean it is. It's auto reverse as well. It's a pretty nice unit. You can play tapes on it. So I'll probably show you this later. Actually, I'll put some batteries in it later on. I'll show you it properly working. Hopefully it'll still work. I haven't used it for, I haven't used this for, let's see, since the 90s. I had to put batteries in to test that out. So what happened was, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm trying not to get sidetracked. I was listening to the Walkman, right, and then I saw these lights in the sky, and I was laid in bed and I was looking out, and everything, I immediately tuned the Walkman in to the radio. I was scanning the FM radio channels to see if there's anything on the news about these UFOs that I was seeing in the sky. And I was really quite surprised to find out that all FM radio was dead. There was nothing on it. I thought, what? What's up with my Walkman? Has the radio gone dead? Because I was listening to a tape, you see. And so I thought, that's strange. And I was looking out the window while I was listening to this, trying to scan to see, well, at the same time I was looking for the radio channels, scanning the radio channels while I was looking out the window, and I saw 3 groups of objects, and there's over 100 objects in each group formation, and there was about, I put down 3 seconds between each group, but it felt like 3 seconds. But I honestly, when I look back at it now, it was longer than that. It was more like 13 seconds. Between each group. They were flying quite fast across the sky like this. Right? And they went behind the cloud and came out the other side. And there was like some kind of evacuation going on. And I was trying to figure out where these objects were going. Now, my Google Earth isn't working right now properly, so I'm going to try and see if I can get it to work on the computer, because I wanted to show you the direction. Google Earth might not show me a map. I'm just going to try and bring it up, see, because I'm on XP and Google Earth recently stopped working. Don't matter anyway about the fact that the map won't work. I don't need to zoom right in. I want to show you the angle. I just want to show you the angle because it might actually be cached. It might be cached. So I used to live see if it'll zoom in. Hang on. Oops, wrong. I'm going to zoom right in. Let me find it. I have to. It might not give me the street name. I'm not sure. Oh, it's working. I think it's working. I need to find the coach park because oops, oh, wrong one. I keep using the wrong. Just a minute. Where is it? Where are we? I'm looking for the cricket ground. It seems to be working. Yeah, I didn't see any of this before. It might be cached, I don't know. Let me just type the address in first. Just give me a sec. Where you still live, that is. Sorry about this, I don't want to show you the address because I don't live there anymore. Let me just see if I can get there. Right, oh, it's showing it up anyway, never mind. I don't live there now, but... Right, there's a house where I lived. I'm gonna get my phone stand. Oh, actually, I don't know if this is a good idea because I've got the resolution a different angle. Let me just turn this around. Hang on, I'm gonna take my cover off. I want to do this for posterity. Oh, come on, stupid cover, come off. Right. Where's my buttons? I don't want to press my buttons in. Right. Let me just get the stand out. I'll just get the legs out, I mean. So it doesn't matter, I don't live there anymore, so don't go there. You'll be pestering a complete stranger and they'll think, who the hell are you? Right, so right, so oh shit, I can't see the screen now. Hang on. So I want to show you the direction and everything. My bedroom window was, well, you see the mouse, it was right here, right where this hand is. That was where my bedroom window was, right? I know that because that's the house. And now I was looking out in this direction. I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to get the ruler. Just a minute, tools. Ruler, where are you? Oh, there you are. Right. So I'm going to draw a line from there. I'm going to zoom out. Oh, just a minute. Go down. This is the direction I was looking at. Right. I'll get this ruler box out of the way a minute. Because I want to... So if you look at the compass. Let's see if I can zoom out enough. It's in this direction. Look at the direction there. You can see that they were heading towards Iceland, right? Over here, they were heading in and toward. They were traveling. There's the line. I lost it now. Shit, where are we? There's the line. I should draw along the line. That's better. It's for measuring miles really. Now this is this line is the direction that I was looking at, right? And the UFOs came into my field of view. Now imagine this rectangle is the UFOs. They were flying in this direction. Alright. And then they turned left. So they were heading towards Iceland or Greenland. Don't you think that's interesting? So I never knew at the time. Remember, this was 1984, right? We didn't have any computers back then. We didn't have computers. So let me just take this phone off the stand a minute. We did have basic. Hang on a minute. Let me just put this stand away a minute. Right, sorry about that. Put my cover back on. Oh, I don't want to press any buttons. Shit, what have I done now? Hang on a minute. I went and pressed the wrong button. Right, so this is important because I'm telling you something which is probably not even listed anywhere on the internet. So the UFOs were heading towards Greenland or Iceland. I don't know, because this is the direction I saw them travelling, and as I pointed out, they were heading in that direction towards Iceland or Greenland. I don't know where. Now, when this happened, because my Walkman wouldn't pick up anything on FM, I tuned into AM, and I was able to pick up AM radio stations, but they're long distance. They could be from overseas, so that doesn't mean anything. But all local radio FM was dead. That was very significant. Otherwise, I would have been questioning myself. And there was a blackout, basically, a radio blackout, because they didn't want callers calling in and reporting UFO sightings, especially with a mass move or whatever was going on back then. And this is the exact date and time, 8th of February 1984 at 3:18 AM. So that's the date, that's the exact time, because I wrote it all down. I even made a note at the time as well, because I thought, what the hell's going on now? I looked at the clock, because obviously I couldn't sleep, and it shook me up actually at the time, because I thought we were being invaded. You know, I mean, well, you do, don't you? You don't know what you think, what you're seeing. And anyway, I actually reported it to the police. They just laughed. Well, back then they laughed. But anyway, about 3 days later on, there was a guy who used to be in the RAF. He actually published an article in the Evening News. He's probably dead now. He was an old guy. And I'm not going to say his full name, but his last name was Crawford. Anyway, it was in the Evening News, and he actually said that he saw objects over Filey Brig. And he was out walking his dog one morning, and he saw an object hovering over Filey Brig, and he had time to go. He wasn't far from home. He had time to go back and get his camera, and he was coming back, and the object was still there apparently. Well, I wanted to know more about this because of what I'd seen, so I contacted the local Evening News and I asked them if I could speak to him, if he could give me his number, and they refused. They said, sorry, we're not allowed to give out that information. Well, that's what I expected. I said, well, can you give him my number, or can you ask him if I can call him and ask him for permission? And they said, okay, yes, we can do that. I said, well, I'll call back in a few, because actually we didn't have our own phones, so I had to use a public call box. So what I did was I asked them to ask permission from him first, and then he gave permission. I contacted the Evening News again. They gave me his number, and I contacted him. The first time I spoke to him, he was very open about it, and he told me a lot of stuff what he'd seen and everything. But anyway, we had a nice conversation, I don't know, 10-20 minutes, and he told me about what he'd seen as well. And then after the conversation, pretty much we didn't have our own phone. We had to go to call box, as I said. I said, well, it'd be nice if I could talk to you again sometime. He said, sure, no problem. But then the next time I called him was about, I don't know, a month later, a few weeks later. He basically told me, I've got a family, I've got kids, I'm sorry, I can't talk about it. So he was basically told to shut up. So obviously there was a cover-up going on, and why am I talking about all this? Well, the fact of the matter is, the reason I'm talking about all this is because everything's been kept from us, and we can't trust anything that we hear, really. And then a friend of mine, I'm not going to say who, showed me this. I'll have to flip my phone around again. A friend showed me this. This is nothing to do with UFOs, but it's obviously just as true, because this book was published in 1985. I think it was 1985. I don't know the title. My friend gave me the author's name, but I couldn't find him anywhere on the internet. You can pause that and read it. So the name he wrote down is this, and I've been looking for the guy on the internet to find his JACQUESAHALI. I searched the internet, I can't find anything. I found some similar names, but not the exact name, so either his book's been squashed or something. I don't even know the title of the bloody book, so forgive me flopping around. But, and as I say, it disillusions you, it makes you think, what the hell am I doing? What am I building all this stuff for if we're all going to be wiped out? Because it looks like they're going to get rid of us at some point. But there were good ETs who were trying to help us, who were trying to help us, right? But there's bad ones, and it's the bad ones who are controlling everything right now. Well, controlling what's going on directly on the planet. There's a war going on, and there's definitely a war going on. When I saw those UFOs, I personally don't know if they're the good guys or the bad guys. But generally speaking, from all the stuff I've heard from David Wilcock, and ESETI, James Gilliland, there are species who are the light high frequency beings who tend to glow, they light up, which was what these objects were. Well, I saw the UFOs, they were all lit up like Christmas tree lights, they were really bright. So I have to hope that they were the good guys, but generally speaking, it's the bad guys who drive around in clunky metal ships, that aren't really of higher vibration, because the high vibrational beings tend to be like angels, or they glow and all that. And so, I better save my battery and leave the phone, actually. So, the question is, are we winning or not? Because apparently, according to according to a few good guys like James Gilliland and David Wilcock, apparently we're on a turning point. We're on this cusp. We're at this apex, if you like, of where things are going to start to change course, and nothing's fully decided now, but we can make things worse by making the wrong decisions, by basically taking that pill, that injection, whatever, that's going to screw us up totally. And the other thing I wanted to tell you about was a few months back, I had a dream about, I had this prophetic dream about, was it months back? I can't remember how many months now. It was actually last year. Come think about it. It was in 2020. It was around about 5 or 6 months into the virus and all that stuff. And the dream I dreamt I was holding this glass thing, and it was glass, and it shattered, and my body was completely covered in shards of glass. I had bits of glass sticking out my legs, out my arms, out my chest. And I was trying to analyse what this dream was about, because I've never in my life had a dream like that ever. And I was trying to look at it symbolically, what it means. And it was all over my body. There was this glass from a sphere or something that blew up, and it just impaled me all over. And I kind of think that's to do with the vaccine, because it's the only thing that makes any sense. That it would basically be everywhere in your body. It makes sense to me. And that it's destructive. And I didn't feel any pain in the dream. I had no sensation of pain whatsoever, but it was very, very dramatically visual. I was covered in this glass and I was picking it all out. You know, it was weird. I didn't feel any pain. I was picking all this glass out on my arms, out on my legs and everything. And I woke up and I thought, shit, what the hell was that, sort of thing, you know? So I wanted to share that because I think any of this information might help somebody, because I honestly think we need to be extremely careful about the choices we make, because if you make the wrong choice, you can't undo it, if you see what I mean. You can't not have it once you've had it, but you can always have it later on. That is the thing. But the thing, I talked to my daughter about this, and I said, you know, it's better to watch and see, just keep your eyes open, your ears open, and just watch and listen, see how it affects the other people. And based on that message that I showed you on my other phone, it refers to us as being stupid people or idiots. I certainly don't want to be an idiot. Are stupid, and not to mention the fact that I was scarred. And the main reason I rejected the vaccine was because I was scarred previously in 1992. When I went to the Philippines, I was given an injection for anti-malaria, and all over my body, ever since I had that injection, I came up with these red scars, these red things, and I've had these since 1992. They won't go away, and they bleed and ooze. I had one on my leg. I had to have it surgically removed. Can you see that scar there? That's the scar, look. I had to have that removed because it was bleeding all the time. It was massive, and blood was coming out, and all over my sheets because I was scratching it because it was itching like crazy. It wasn't healing. It wasn't going away. And I've got these, I've got one on my, I don't need to show you too much. Where's my camera? It's there. There's one there, it's a small one. I've got one on my back. I don't know if I can show you this, because it's on my back. I don't know if you can see. I can't see my back, so there's some on my back. Hang on a minute. Got them all over, and it drives me nuts because I have to scratch myself, and I can't scratch myself on my back very well. And if I do, it bleeds. Let me see if I can show you it. Hang on. Somewhere. Oh, I can't find it. But I've got them on my leg. That's my leg. And these are things that happened from a vaccine. That's why I don't want to be scarred again by any more of them things. And I've got this, that was my left arm I was showing you. And that's my right arm. I've got them all over. So It's up to you if you want to take the chance, but I don't want to be scarred anymore. I don't want to be bleeding because of some thing that I'm allergic to or had bad reactions with. But you know, the way things are going at the moment, it just makes you, it just knocks you for six, really. So yeah, I've been making progress with the new segments for these are the much bigger ones. There should be a lot better once they're done. I've been acetone treating these new ones, and these are the inserts that go in there. Once I put the, yeah, I'm sidetracked again. Well, anyway, so what I'm basically saying is, I suppose I'm asking the question really, how much time do you think we've got left? Because I mean, if they win, then we're totally screwed, but I'm just hope to God we don't, that things are going to turn around. Yeah, oh, the other thing as well is apparently false flags, they haven't stopped. So what is the agenda with this alien, this extraterrestrial, finally coming out and admitting that they're real, right? Well, most of us know that, most of us who are educated have seen the cave paintings of extraterrestrials from millions of years ago, right? So they've been around a long time. They've always been around, right? So if they're going to try and pull a stunt and say that we're going to be invaded and we're going to be invaded by aliens, don't believe it. It's a lie. It's more fear propaganda. I think that's what they're going to try next. Let me just try something. Just putting something in my keyboard. Right, let me just see if I can find. Let me just find it on the internet for you. Let me see picture. Oh, I want pictures. Right. Right, these are ancient paintings. You can go and look them up yourself. Just put the words. Just put these words into Google. Right. Okay, put that into Google. Hopefully it'll still be there. 12 ancient paintings. Sorry about the shaky cam. Containing surprise evidence of aliens. AUTs. They don't like being called aliens. They're actually extraterrestrial. Let's see. Stupid thing's only showing me one. There's another one there. Oh, look at that. Yeah, there's some. This is ancient, but bear in mind these are ancient paintings, right? These are ancient, very ancient. Look at that. We are not alone, folks. I'm trying to get the next picture to show up. Come on, stupid mouse. Oh, maybe I'm at the last one. I want to go. It won't work. The flipping menu won't work. I'm on XP. Bear in mind I'm on XP. Things don't work very well on XP. Some browsers, some websites just don't work properly. Ah! Can't get you. I'm clicking my mouse, look. Got it in my hand. it's not working. You have to go and look for yourself because I can't open it. But I have looked at this stuff before. Can I press enter maybe? Let me try enter. That should work. No. Oh, next. Oh, arrow keys usually work. No. Oh. Right, so the page is frozen up on me. Let's try another website. Cave paintings. Let's try this one. Not everybody's updated till this newest script. If it's got the older script, it'll still work for me. Right, so these are paintings. These are cave paintings. So there's a lot of evidence out there, you just have to look. And for years they've been dismissing it. That's obviously a guy in a spacesuit. Or E.T. in a spacesuit. It's all out there. You just gotta go and look. Oh, freaking heck. I hate these bloody boxes that come up. So, you can go and look for yourself anyway. Otherwise my YouTube video is going to be too long. The fact is the evidence is out there and it's not being denied anymore. They come in all shapes. Have you noticed though that majority of the pictures are showing you these creepy ones with the long legs, and just remember they're not all like that. A lot of them are humanoid, just like we are. The Pleiades, they're humanoid. A lot of humanoid ones. There are slight differences to them in that you have to look, their ears are slightly different to ours. They might be lower. Their ears might actually be a little bit further forward, a little bit lower, things like that. Things that are very significant because humans, generally speaking, we have different size ears. We have big ears, small ears, you know, but depends on our age as well. But if the ears are definitely more to the front or lower, or the lobes are different, yeah, you can spot them. But don't get nasty with them if you meet them, because they're here to help. They won't be here. If they wanted to hurt us, remember this, right? Just remember this, right? If they wanted to hurt us, they don't have to be walking among us. They could just bomb us, right? Blow us up, laser us, you know, shoot us with their ray guns, right? So if they're among us, it's because they're here to help, because you can't do certain things from space, right? You can't fix or help us fix our problems from a spaceship. You've got to sometimes interact. And if they're interacting, it's because they're trying to help. And they're not here to steal anything because they're more advanced than we are. So just think about all these basic facts, common sense. If they're down here and you meet an alien, or extraterrestrial I should say, if you meet an extraterrestrial, it's not because they're here to harm you, it's because they want to help. Because, unless they're down here to eat you, that's a different matter, but you'll probably know that. You probably wouldn't get a chance to do anything anyway if that was the case. But I wouldn't think that, because I don't think most of them are meat eaters anyway. I think a lot of them are vegetarians, so don't worry. I wouldn't be so sure about if you meet an alligator extraterrestrial that looks like an alligator but has got an IQ 260 or something. Yeah, he might eat you. But you got to laugh sometimes, haven't you? Otherwise, you get too depressed. And there's such a lot of stuff going on. I mean, they're releasing a lot of this evidence now. They're starting to come out with it. Quite amazing, actually. I wonder I wonder when some of this stuff was published, because it seems to be a lot more. There seems to be a lot more stuff floating around now than there used to be. I did a lot of my research back in 2007, 2010, 2015. After a while, you kind of, yeah, after a while, you just kind of get overload and you just stop looking after a while. Because you just don't want to look at any more stuff, because you start to see the negative stuff, and it just, yeah. There was a lot of negative stuff floating about. But it's not all negative. The trouble is, most of it's positive, but they're just drowning us in all this fear mongering. And you know, the part of the programming as well is all these movies about aliens, and it's brainwashed us into saying that word, alien. It's a brainwashing method that they've used in the movies for many, 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 many years. So it's difficult to get out of that and say extraterrestrial. But E.T., the movie, was great, because it actually was the only movie that actually addressed them in a more benign way. Because if you call an extraterrestrial being an alien, that is as just about as insulting as saying a black man is the N word. You know what I mean? So we shouldn't say that, because they're not actually technically alien. They're actually, many of them are actually our cousins. We've just never met, because there were all this stuff that's been going around that if you go back millions of years, a lot of the stuff we don't know about, but basically a lot of the stuff that we've seen, some of the movies, is actually based on truth. I mean, that movie where an extraterrestrial drops his blood in the river and seeds the river with that life, you probably know the one I'm talking about. That is probably based on some factual information, but introducing life onto a barren Earth-like planet, to start the evolutionary process to, whatever. So that's pretty symbolic, though. I mean, that is symbolic. I mean, dropping your blood in the river, I mean, that's not exactly the way to start life, but it's technically introducing, it's a symbolic way of saying we're introducing our DNA into this ecosystem. That is symbolically saying that. But what they're really doing it much more advanced than that, obviously. Yeah. But look at all the different humanoids on planet Earth. I mean, even we, as a human species, we have many different varieties. I mean, there's the Chinese, there's the Eskimos, there are many different clans. It started out as clans, right? All these different groups, and we're all originated from basically different variations. We're all human, but we're all different in our attributes, if you like. Our different features, but we're basically all humans, because we all have human souls, right? We all have the same souls, basically. We share the same common source, but we just might look different. So all this stuff about racism, it really annoys me, because that whole thing needs to go away, because the racist stuff, all that stuff needs to go away, because if we can't live in peace with our own brethren, our own brothers and sisters on planet Earth, how the hell are we going to be able to cope with the extraterrestrials coming to see us? I mean, just think about that for a minute. So, but then it makes you think of, what's the agenda? Why are they trying to create a division between white, black, and different ethnicities? Why are they, the bad guys, deliberately creating this divide. Maybe they're trying to do that to say, hi ET, look, you can't come and live here. Look, they can't even live amongst each other. They're arguing, they're fighting, you know, they like each other. So what chance have you got? You see? And the ETs are probably thinking, yeah, you've probably got a point there. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea for us to land yet because of all the racial stuff going on. So that is worth thinking about. So, I mean, I married a foreigner myself before my gender issue changes and all that. So, most of us aren't racist. It's only, it tends to be the puritists, the ones like the Nazis. I shouldn't go into that word, but you know, when they were trying to breed the blonde, blue-eyed and all that, so they wanted to get rid of the word J. I'm not going to say the word, but you know what I mean. They were trying to they were doing it ethnic cleansing and all that stuff, right? The bad guys, basically. So we have to get away from all that crap. We really do, because if we want this planet to get fixed, we have to start the process of fixing it ourselves. And the way to do that is to stop fighting amongst ourselves. Stop saying, oh, you're different, or your skin's the wrong colour, and all that. We've got to stop doing that. Otherwise, the guys up there in the spaceships who will say, we'd like to help humanity, but we can't right now because they're fighting, they can't even accept each other. And until they start to accept each other, how the hell are we going to fit in? Yeah, you see, that's the point. Anyway, enough of my ranting. I'm going to disappear because I just realised I've been waffling for 47 minutes and 16 seconds. So I just thought I'd do this video and just clear a few things up about things that happened to me. I'm not even talking about the ghost stuff that happened to me when my sister died. I mean, I have mentioned that before, but I think I mentioned it on YouTube, I think. But anyway, that's another whole new ball of wax, so I'm not going to go there right now. So, thank you for watching. I will try and keep you updated with my project, the generator and everything, and yeah, I'm taking it very slow right now, by the way, because the weather is really hot and sticky, and I'm trying to chill out a bit and spend some time on the doorstep in the sunshine, and so I'm just doing a little bit at a time with these new segments. I'm not in a big rush. And you might be saying, well, why are you doing this? I thought you were going to wind your coils. And like I explained before, the coils, I can wind the coils anytime, but I've already estimated based on the current coil I've got on there that I do need more flux switching. So I'm making these new segments. I've got to make 12 of these frigging things. 24 of these things. That's a lot, so it's going to take me a while, because it's a double rotor now, so we've got double rotor, so basically these things are going to be back to back, so we're going to have, because it's a double rotor system, I'm going to have these back to back, so I've got twice as many of these frigging things to make, which is a bit of a nightmare, but I'll get there. I've just treated this one. I put the nanocrystalline in the slot in that one. I haven't done the rest yet though. I've got to do these 3 slots as well, like that one. So that I've got left, I don't want to use all my good stuff, which is rapidly diminishing. The nanocrystalline is rapidly getting thin down there, but I've got plenty over there anyway. I've got another stack of it here, which I can peel and use at some point, but I am trying to be economical with it, because once it's gone, it's gone. and I'm trying to make use of as much of the scrap stuff, which is like this, as I can. I've got quite a lot of bits of scrap in my tub. It's all going to get used though. The thin stuff tends to, I use the thin stuff to go in these little 3 slots, and I fold it up and get it in there. Yeah, so I'm going to go. I'm still waffling. Talk to you. I'll see you later. Bye for now.